Welcome to Luxury Cherries Architecture. Today, I'll be interviewing our lead architect, Charles Green. Charles, would you take us through this wonderful city that you have constructed for us today?
Sure. So the settlement is called Spovia because I don't know.
Spovia. Okay.
Yes.
What sort of
Your interviewer voice
what sort
is
of
fucking weird.
what sort of government does Spovia have? Is it a technocracy? Is it maybe?
No, a technocracy would definitely be the Iron Teeth.
Oh, sure.
What kind of government would these? This
It's
would
a
be
junta.
No. Definitely some sort of socialism.
It's the Democratic Republic of the People's whatever, man.
Let's just get
It's
into
a beaver
this.
utopia. Ooh,
Let's
fancy.
just get into the
I want you to
complex.
explain this massive. What is this? What is this complex called? This is very cool. Is this just like a city?
Is
Is there housing, or is this all just like power manufacturing?
That's all. That's most of the housing. Also,
okay.
some more housing over here. This is an interesting.
Is that
concept.
underground?
Yeah, this is an interesting concept I came up with. Because I was looking into more ways to save above ground space.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can cut through the layers here, make some stuff disappear. So I just blasted out a hole,
I see that.
blasted out a deeper hole inside of it. Come on. Oh, it won't get rid of them. They're too low.
Oh, how many floors is it?
So this is the only floor. I basically
okay.
blasted it out so I could put triple lodges, which are too tall, flush with the rest of the ground here.
Yeah. And then you put solid
Platforms around it,
So you could build stuff on top?
stuff on it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I see.
Oh yeah, I'm working on the tribute.
It's the tribute to
ingenuity.
ingenuity. Nice.
Let's just finish
Start
building
it. Yeah. So what is this? Is this all more housing? Is that what that is?
No, so here, let's go all the way down to the bottom.
Okay, so housing. That's housing.
So this is housing. This is storage. I'm using the small warehouses because I'd rather them just fill up at 200 and then not be able to hold anymore. Storage is kind of funky. This is the best way I've figured out to do it.
Okay.
Because you can just be like, no, this warehouse holds absolutely nothing except paper. And this is the only warehouse that holds paper.
So this is your
So
Scranton branch of your warehouse.
Yes. And the paper capacity, once it hits 200, the paper mills stop producing more paper. That's what I need them to do, because otherwise you end up with like 2,000 paper, 600 planks, and it's just like, I'm never gonna use that. I wasted all this time and all this wood
And all these resources.
all this resources making that for no reason because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't microing my fucking beavers.
Yeah, but this is a way so that
This
your
is a way-
macro does some micro for you.
Yeah, basically there's no micro to do because
That's convenient.
once you lay this out and block everything and have each one hold only one type of thing, they just fill up to 200 and stop. Then I have a housing complex. I used to have houses over here in the wheat field.
Yeah.
This used to be housing, not wheat. But it just seemed like they were pretty far away from their workplace, so I moved them
Yeah.
closer.
Oh, okay.
So you have your housing. Let's see.
Go up a layer.
Floor. Keep
see.
going up.
Whoa.
Here we go. So this is the work. You have your gear workhouses, your plank manufacturing, more plank manufacturing because I needed more planks.
Because you need planks, yeah.
A smelter, your explosives workhouse, more smeltering, more explosives, paper. They grind the wheat. They also grind the wheat. This is new. Treated planks, waterproofing for you need it for certain high-end applications. Some new stuff
sure.
they added in. That's why I started a new thing.
Just because they have a bunch of new stuff and you weren't really prepared for it?
And
Oh,
it's because I was like, where'd it go? I had a building here. No, it's because I have like the building layer thing messed with.
yeah.
Oh yeah, more paper too, because I needed more paper to make all these
Sure.
fucking
And
windmills.
are all of these water wheels just power manufacture?
Yeah, they're all power manufacture, and because that's the neat thing about here, go back down. So these buildings and these buildings, they both transfer power to any building they're linked to.
Sure.
So you can plug in your water wheels to the base level.
Yeah, and then you put
Stuff on top of it, and it's automatically powered.
That makes sense. They just wire the whole building, and you just build on top.
Yep. So that allowed me to just layer stuff up here. This got a little messy. I was thinking of just doing nice, neat rows, but I had to lay out this a special way to basically transfer power.
No, I kind of like the chaotic look of it. I think that it makes it more visually appealing and sort of interesting.
Yes, it's definitely... I liked it once I got it. I had to make it and delete it a couple times, basically, because if you could see underneath it a little better with the power overlay, basically I'm transferring power from here with the grist mill, and then the explosives manufacturer is like here, helping get it all interconnected. So I didn't need as many of these, but I did have to put a power shaft in between those two.
So what is this tall building with like the...
Oh, that's the new science manufacturing.
It's like a higher tier one?
A higher tier science manufacturing. So it holds 4 people, produces 10 science every time it completes, and it's an observatory. It's just like a telescope.
Sweet.
So yeah, the whole complex consumes 3,470 horsepower to keep at peak capacity.
I see, and your demand is at 4,500?
Or my supply is at 4,500.
Oh, and your demand is 34.
Yeah.
Oh, so, I see, supply / demand. I get it. I understand.
Yep. Yeah. And then here's another cool thing. Irrigation.
Yeah.
Used to need to do this like very manually, but I've got a sort of neat irrigation system set up
is this
here.
Like is this your pro Charles tips?
Pretty much. This is like, hey, this is the new stuff they just added, because this game is early access.
Yeah.
So here's the new stuff they just added, and also here's what I figured out is like good.
Sure.
Useful, fun, good, kind of like an interesting strategy, whatever. Yeah. But I've got a reservoir. Oh, new crops, cattails.
Oh, sure.
Aquatic farmhouse. They grow crops in partially flooded plains, so like your rice style crops.
Right. Yeah.
But it's spatterdock and cattail.
Okay. Cool.
Spatterdocks, I think, are kind of like lilies.
Yeah.
These are
Like
spatterdock.
giant lily pads.
Yeah, they're like thick lily pads. You grill them.
Oh.
So one of these grills spatterdocks for me. They also have a new recipe system, so you select what. Oh,
grilled chestnuts or grilled potatoes or grilled whatever.
Spatterdock.
Yeah.
But no, so this is an automated mechanical water pump. It's like the last thing. It's like 5,000, 4,000 science or something for that. But doesn't require any beavers. Hook it up to something like the windmill, and it'll just fill a smaller reservoir like this, and then you cap the small reservoir with a dam, and it's auto. Like, it automatically drains. There's no need to micro it and turn this off when it starts to get full.
Sure.
Or, oh no, this is going to dry up. Like, you just leave it running.
Nice.
Same over here.
You just always have a reservoir.
I just always have a reservoir. I was probably planning on expanding over here or something.
Yeah, this looks like you were in the early stages of expansion.
Yeah, there's a small... Is that a cloud? Or a fish in the deep water?
I don't know.
That's terrifying.
Take a look. Do you have thalassophobia?
Not really.
I really don't. One of the things that I've talked about at work is what we're afraid of, and most of my coworkers have it really bad. They're like,
really?
I don't know what's underneath the water, and I'm like,
and that's scary.
More water.
Yeah.
like a lot more water.
Yeah, and some fish that don't really want to fuck with you.
Yeah, and sure, there probably is a squid that's the size of a school bus, but also you're gonna be way, way dead by the time you encounter one of those underwater.
Yeah, like
That's
the
how I
water
feel
pressure
about
will
it.
kill you.
Yeah.
And
It's
also,
fine.
like, if you're not in the middle of the ocean swimming off the side of your billion-dollar yacht.
That'd be cold and also dangerous. The middle of the ocean seems real dangerous.
Yeah, like, why would you... It's like, okay, there's nothing under me. Okay, if the ground below you is within 100 feet, there's nothing that big.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
To ocean mammals, 100 feet is, like, the top layer.
It's the shallow end.
Yeah, and
There's
nothing big and scary hangs out in the fucking shallow end.
No, they hang out after the drop off.
Yeah, the drop off is... Dude, there's videos where, like, you can really see the drop off off some of the Mediterranean shores.
It's really cool.
It's really cool, but also horrifying. That's what
I don't think
triggers
so.
me.
See, I don't think so. That when I see that, I'm like, that's awesome.
So when I see it, I think, hey, I had a mind. Oh,
Did they
some
run
buildings disappeared because of the thing.
Oh no.
That's fine.
That's all right. You'll figure it out.
Or maybe. Oh, I just hadn't built the mine yet because I was gonna force them to like pick up all this scrap metal first. Do I have? So this is my other warehouse district, which I added houses. So this is the other warehouse type.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird shape. It's kind of hard to like stack. You could just put platforms there, then stack them vertically, but
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, aren't there buildings that fit in that space, or is that?
Yes, there
Okay.
are. I put houses in it over here. Houses also transfer, so this is more housing. This was the initial underground housing development.
Oh yeah, just like into the cliffside.
Just into a cliffside, I just blasted out this part and was like, yeah, they can just walk underneath. And yeah.
Dude, how many beavers do you have?
I have an overall beaver total of 259.
What is okay? So next to that, is that a spade or a tree? At the top.
Up top to the left?
Yeah.
I think that's a chart. No, that's a small beaver and a bigger beaver standing next to each other.
No, above that.
Oh, that's a leaf.
Okay. Is that like your score or whatever? Like
Yeah.
It says 13.
It's like my population well-being score.
Oh, you're playing. Oh, you've unlocked the Iron Teeth. You're not playing.
Iron Teeth, that's like your faction crest. So the Iron Teeth have a different faction crest.
I see.
Yeah, so that... Oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at because I have the mouse turned off on the recording because I'm not a good person.
That's okay. Don't even stress about it. I'm not redoing this.
You're right. Anyways, I haven't built any shrines for them.
Oh, maybe.
Where are the shrines? What shrine?
Your shrine is gone. Dude, is that not a shrine?
Mudbath, carousel.
Shrine.
Oh, that wasn't there the last time I was playing. That's interesting. Okay.
They can contemplate nature.
New stuff.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I'm going to put a mine there, but I wanted more storage for each individual item on this because wind power only works part of the time, so I wanted to have a bigger cushion. What's in this warehouse? Not metal blocks. This one. Okay, 600 metal blocks. Metal blocks to Plainsia. Perfect. Making sure I had a trade route leading to here so they'd have enough metal blocks to build this.
Oh, yeah. They do.
Unfortunately, you gotta micro that still. I have made a suggestion for easy mode whiny people like me that maybe they should just make it so as long as you have a drop-off point and a distribution post that your beavers will move things between districts whenever there's need, and the throughput is just based on how many beavers you have working. Like, basically automate it. Like, if this is full of metal blocks, but this warehouse over here only has 50 metal blocks in it,
it would
fill
try
it
to
up.
Fill the other warehouse.
Something like that.
Just try to fill all of your warehouses so that you have product where you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
I wanted a bigger cushion because you get days like this where the wind doesn't blow. They need to deal with that. A lot of people And I, too, think it doesn't blow often enough. Like, really, there's not even a slight breeze for, like, a portion of the day every day.
I mean, so here's the thing. Days, okay. So windmills in the real world...
They spend, like, most of the time.
They work literally all of the time. Like, if you put them high enough... Yeah, because you put
them in a good spot.
Then they always work. I don't know, man. When was the last time you went outside and there was not a breeze at all? The air was completely stagnant. Spoiler alert, that's not how low pressure and high pressure systems work.
Yeah, well, it did work yesterday. For about 2 hours, there was no wind. Air was very still.
Right, but 2 hours out of a 24-hour day.
And that was the only time that it happened.
And that was after a ginormous windstorm?
Yes.
By the way, we had a ginormous windstorm.
We had 3 ginormous windstorms over the course of, like, 2 weeks.
I think it was the dregs of those tornadoes. Just, like, the weird pressure systems.
The weird pressure. That makes sense. So yeah, giant windstorm, and then just a really still night. It was after the sun already set.
Okay, so I saw a bunch of, like, planks sticking out of the water. Can you explain what that is?
Oh, these?
And it's not those. There was some over by, like, your main
It is those, but it's when I do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that's just how the platforms look.
Oh, I see.
I was expanding the space here. I was going to build out more.
Build more stuff. Right, because building on the water, for me at least, is one of the cooler things you can do.
Right, especially building on deep water, because it's not like I can go plant crops I don't know.
6 or 7 tiles down?
Well, it's only 3 tiles down, but that's like 4 or 5 beavers deep.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. No.
Hey, look, your windmills are working again.
Yeah, in the middle of the night when nobody's in the shops to work them.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's whatever. I like... Okay, so this is like a really dumb thing, but in Fallout 4, you can build windmills. And the nice thing about windmills is that they're fucking expensive, but you don't need stats.
Yes.
And they don't require oil.
Yeah, that is nice.
And I don't know, man. I think windmills should work basically all the time. I'm in agreement. It's a video game, dude. Let me have my nice things.
Yeah, and if you're going to have them do variable output between, like, a low number and 400, just be like, they can do between 50 and 400.
Yeah. That
way they're almost useless for stuff like, oh yeah, this needs 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
But are still somewhat... But can, like, still be used if you do it right and the wind's blowing good, you know? Because, like, this I need 18... Like, I have a supply of 1,800 because... Once this is... this scrap here has been eaten up, these ruins...
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to expand the gear workshop and the treated planks workshop because the mine... This is really cool. There's a mine.
Yeah.
You can just... Because they have a new thing. It used to only be this finite metal resource that was on the map. Yeah. This is an infinite metal resource here.
Oh, the underground ruins.
Yep. But it costs 1 gear, 1 treated plank to get you 2 scrap.
Oh.
So there's a cost to it. So you need the workshop to produce the stuff. I'm going to put this on super low priority so it doesn't eat everything because it's like...
Kind of expensive?
Yeah, very
expensive. It's kind of expensive, you guys.
That's why I've been having these guys making gears.
I like how it's just like the logs are already going because you've already... Like, you don't have any need for logs.
Yeah, because there's just all of these logs here and all of these logs in resource...
This windmill thing reminds me of a game that I really like called Wargroove. This game is awesome. I really like Wargroove.
I really like this windmill.
Yeah, it's a nice windmill farm.
I think getting height should give them a slight bonus, but it doesn't.
I agree. But okay, so the way that Wargroove works is that if it's windy, then your trebuchets have longer range.
Oh,
which
nice.
is really fun when you're playing against the CPU. But Wargroove when it came out, had an emphasis on PvP.
Uh-huh.
And it's a turn-based game. And what the only thing that, like, the change in the weather does is it gives even more bonuses for going first. So it's like, if you were playing someone of equal skill, you can't win if you go second. I mean, you can. Like, you just play better than them, or you have a better leader, because the leader abilities are busted in that game. But, like, it just feels bad when you're playing a strategy game and you get RNG'd to death. Like in this game, where it's basically a strategy game, like essentially. But some of your shit doesn't work because it's not fucking windy outside. Oh, okay.
Yeah, thanks, game.
Thank you, game. And maybe I'm just being whiny, and I actually haven't played very much. I own this game, but I haven't played very much of it. Partially because I get bored easily, and I have like a low attention span. The game that I was able to complete most recently was Dark Souls, and the only reason was because I felt like it was like throwing new challenges at me all the time. Mm-hmm. But this game, like it is throwing new challenges at you all the time, but I'm dumb and I need to be told what to do, and so.
Right, this game is very much like a find your own fun thing. I've been starting new maps. So one of the reasons why I played this map with the new update was because the aquatic farmhouse. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh man, last time I turned this whole thing into a giant reservoir like that. Like I put the dam like here and just made this whole thing a giant reservoir all the way up to in here.
Yeah.
But with this new mine, I didn't want to flood that, so I'm like, okay, but there's this huge wide open basically river plain that I'm going to make if I do flood this. Oh, this is also, I customized this map. I added some barriers here to make it so this would flood earlier. Because I wanted to have a big open area to do this and whatnot. But yeah, I have found my fun in this game via just like
cool designs. I mean, like
cool designs, and like I started a map on the lakes one because it has a lot of open spaces you can put aquatic stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of just building over it like I had been doing, like I had a save where down here I had just covered like this whole area in a town.
Oh, cool.
Just like it was all built above the water. I had put levees in the center of the lake to put a farm in.
Oh, okay.
But now I could have done that with just aquatic crops and not having levees keeping the water out.
Yeah.
Or I could have just not had like the whole city and do the city like on the edge of this and the farmland in here.
Yeah.
Because now you don't need to keep this green land on the coastal areas exclusively for farmland to keep your beavers alive. You can do other stuff. Also, this also has their entertainment in the complex.
Yeah.
So you have the carousel.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it gives them fun. You have the mud baths for them to relax in after the fact.
Sure.
After work. Mechanically aerated.
Oh.
Where are the bubbles coming from?
Yeah, from mechanical.
Yeah, from all that horsepower. They take 50 horsepower. It's not that much.
Yeah.
Also beehives. Beehives are cool.
Did you know that a horsepower is like 3 real horses?
No, a horse can generate 3 horsepower.
Oh, yeah. It's one or the other. It's just like really dumb. I'm like, you're really going to give me horsepower and then horses are just 3 horsepower?
So
it just pisses me off, dude.
It's how much work one horse can do over the course of an entire day. So a horse that is working, because a horse can't work the entire day, a horse that is working produces about 3 horsepower. A horse working at its peak produces about 17 horsepower.
Right.
Also, because this area would flood a lot, this area here, I have a drainage system.
Oh, cool.
Go down to 0, see if it'll let me show you. So it floods, starts flowing into here. There's a big reservoir here in case it really needs it. That slowly drains over time as the ground sucks it up.
Oh, yeah.
So you get about half a thing. I was hoping it would just work and I wouldn't need to go harder, but I did. I needed to blast out a whole trail and drain it out here.
Oh, no.
And that has helped me with my floods.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
Yes.
That you're just like, yes, flood
I
mitigation.
want to see more floods.
Okay.
So obviously they have this weather forecast system, and it tells you when a drought's incoming.
In 0.1
I would
days.
like to see like the same thing, but a flood, where just like a bunch of extra water comes
it's
out.
the dry season and the rainy season, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a storm, so there's
Yeah.
just like water appearing everywhere, and you need to have drainage channels to deal with it.
Yeah.
That would be like having more weather to fight, because that's the whole thing for this game for me. Is it's like the enemy is the weather.
Yeah.
Right now it's pretty based on droughts, but I would like to see it go a little deeper.
Yeah, it could be both. Why not both?
Yeah.
And truly the greatest thing that they could do is they could add winter
Oh yeah.
and have your lake freeze if it isn't deep enough.
Right. Like your reservoir would freeze, like the top layer would freeze, and you wouldn't be able to get water out of it if it wasn't deeper than that.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously, like you could have like winterized water pumps,
Or just like,
and you could have ice fishing. Ice fishing is cool. I guess they don't eat fish though.
right, that's something in the
I want a carnivorous beaver as a faction. They need meat.
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Have one of the upcoming factions be carnivorous.
Yeah, I mean, it's the closest you can get to like a war faction in a game with no enemies.
Yeah, Iron Teeth are kind of the, like, we've gone against the normal beaver society ways because they aren't one with nature.
Ah, yes.
They haven't really fleshed that out in, like, its extremity. By the way, there's basically swimming areas you can designate with these Lidos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they have... I just like watching the beavers do stuff, too. Because,
They
like...
just hang out.
Yeah, look at him, just lying on his back with his tail flopping about.
Yeah,
We'll slow it down.
swimming. Yeah, he's going.
He's just swimming back and forth. He's just laying on his back. Sometimes they rest in the chairs here. Like this guy, this kid, just chilling in the
He's
beaver
just
chair.
chilling.
So, oh yeah, there's book printers. Here we go. Usually beavers consume each page right after reading, so good literature is always in demand.
Why? Why would you do that? That's disrespectful.
Because they eat plant matter, and a lot of the times that means eating the...
I eat plant matter, but I don't eat fucking paper.
Yeah, but they eat trees, man.
That's true.
And
do they eat trees?
They do. I've been seeing some videos from Mike's Videos of Beavers. Very great channel. He just has videos of beavers.
I read on Reddit, and I don't know how real this is. Shout out to your boy. But also, that beavers build dams because the sound...
Yes, the sound triggers them. So you can put a speaker with running water noises playing, and they will cover it up with wood.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Like, there's no evolutionary advantage there, or, like, specific evolutionary reason there.
It's just like
they build dams, and for whatever reason, their brain triggers it with the sound of...
Yeah, their instincts are like, running water bad?
Wait.
Build dams.
How is this working? Nothing is moving. There shouldn't be any power.
Look, man.
It's not even going up in percentage, but it's still...
It's going, dude. It's
okay,
fine.
there's a small glitch. Probably because I had to load a save from an old
there's a
version.
slight glitch because of this. So you're not going to be able to go back to this, really? You're just going to have to build a new one? I guess that is sort of the downfall of that.
I am playing on experimental mode.
Oh.
So I'm playing on, like, the branch of, like, hey, could you test this for us before we send it live to the people who...
Oh, okay.
I'm basically being a free beta tester because I wanted to check out the new stuff they added before everyone else got to it.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
So...
I am not a beta tester.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I really like this.
No, it's like really neat. They added some stuff. It gave me a reason to come back and like mess around with it. It's feeling even more fleshed out. Working on the weather system, like I said, would be really cool if you had more dangers. Because I think most of the reason I'm having floods is I have tuned this the water sources back here to put out more water on this custom map. I don't know how much it really affect the flow. I was trying to see if it would affect how much, like, the speed of the flow and therefore how much power I was getting from the water wheels. Like, I'm legitimately kind of testing stuff, seeing how it works. But
I see.
I'm getting floods because of that, I think. So, but it didn't make me realize having to deal with floods is really fun. Because you either have to drop this dam and be like, get the water out of here. Oh no, like all this is flooding. Drain some of this. Or you need to put in these drainage channels so it drains itself fairly quick before it kills all your crops and your trees, because lo and behold, being flooded is not good for wheat.
No. It's bad for most things.
Yeah.
Most people don't like being flooded.
I don't like being flooded.
I do.